you all in another session, which is related to students' life or students. So I have chosen the topic that is what are the things that students should do or they shouldn't do. It's important to discuss on certain things which might clarify some confusions. I would like to welcome everyone to this little discussion, small talk, I would say. And the topic that I've chosen for today's session is the things that students should do or should not do. It's important to discuss certain things which can be clarifying some confusions among students or even teachers. For instance, when I was earlier talking about soft skills, there are so many soft skills that you learn while you are studying at a university or college or school life. Those soft skills are not gonna be taught in a course or a separate program after you are done graduating from any institution. So soft skills like sense of responsibility or individual learning or teamwork or trustworthiness or intuitive skills or leadership, all these skills no one is going to teach you particularly as a course. That's why we call them soft skills or graduate attributes, because they are embedded in the programs. They are part of your courses. For team working, you have different strategies or different, I would say, activities inside the class. You do project together with other students. What I noticed, and I would like to share my opinion as a teacher, that students might be benefiting from the advice or my, I would say, suggestion, that you have to think that when there is a small act, when there is a small activity in the class and the teacher is expecting you to take participation in that, so there we are looking at team building skill. We are trying to observe students sense of cooperation. We are trying to find out how supportive they are to each other or how participative they are. So try to take participation at that time. What students, as teachers, or as any person, nobody likes dishonesty. Why I'm saying dishonesty? Because if your teacher gives you a task, right, and there is an agreement, there is a discussion on that, you understood that task, and it's decided that next class or next meeting is going to be the reflection, or you are going to complete that assignment. So if you have the opportunity to be absent or send an excuse or something that is not an honest excuse, so it's really going to cast a very bad impression on teacher that you are trying to avoid doing that work or assignment. Not only that you avoided or you didn't do that job on time, but also you are making it up. You are bringing excuses which are not fair to the teacher and also not good for your personality development. So it's important that you develop a sense of responsibility. Now, talking about sense of responsibility or sense of honesty, what if a student is not ready or he or she didn't do that job? So yeah, it's possible. There is a possibility that you couldn't complete the job, you couldn't do the work. Honesty is like you straight away try to approach the teacher, not on the day of that task submission or something like that, but you approach the teacher. If you have an online mode of contacting your teacher, for instance MS Team, you have an opportunity to chat with your teacher. You state the situation, or you clearly tell that teacher, I'm facing this problem. Or even if there is no problem, you are not feeling that you are ready, in an example, I can say, for example, if a student has to present, right, and out of anxiety or out of nervousness, you cannot, feel, you don't think that you are ready for the presentation, but tomorrow is the day of presentation. So uh, you don't come to the class, you get absent, right? So it gets worse when you are having a partner, you have a member with whom you have a project presentation. So what you do, you get absent in the class, you don't appear, and you have said to your partner that if the teacher is asking that it's time for you to present, so you should say that, teacher, my presentation is with my friend who is not in the class. Teachers are very like, they, I don't know how students are thinking, like they are smarter than teachers, or they can play tricks. Don't do that, don't do that, because we can get it so easily. We understand that you are lying or you're not. Besides, you're quite adults, like it doesn't look good. It's um it's embarrassing even for us as teachers if we see that you are making it up. So no other channel, there is no other place, there is no other time will be able to learn the soft skills, the attributes that you should be having after you are done graduation. By the way, maybe students think that, oh, it's not important, okay, if I don't have that, for me it's more important if I get the marks. Yes, you get the marks, but who is giving you the marks? The teacher is giving you the marks, right? If you have a record of or you have a whole profile of not completing the task on time, or if you are a person who always brought some excuses, teacher is having you record in his or her mind. How come it's not going to reflect in your result? So this is also another selfish approach, or I would say an immature approach on part of students. If you think, no, I won't come, you agree and there is a deadline to follow, and you agree to show up, and then you don't show up, and then you have no feeling of regret. And then you say, if somebody asks you why, and you say, I need marks, that's why I didn't appear, because I, I I didn't want to have low grades. Hello, teacher knows everything, and they would not appreciate a student who is not fair in dealings. These are small things. I always say to my students that a small act of sincerity, of honesty, of I would say trust, right? It's going to really impact you throughout your life. Coming to another scenario, let's say you mention to the teacher that, like, there's a deadline, and you say to the teacher that, teacher, we are all not ready, we want to have that assignment due, or submission extended to the next week, not this week. Okay, and your teacher, just to support you, right? She or he, just to support you, extends the deadline, because you have promised to the teacher that we are so much not ready, we are not, we are nervous, or we would like to complete that, and we are going to, wallahi, we are going to give the best performance in the next week, or some miracle would happen. Okay, fine, your teacher tried to support you, your teacher tried to help you, and she or he extended the deadline. Okay, this whole arrangement was done to facilitate you. So if you still carry on with the same practice, you don't show up, or uh, your partner or one of you is there and the other is not there, and the same story, mm-mm, don't do that, don't do that, because it's not the classes, it's not the lessons that you are here for. always remember, you go to an institution not to complete the degree, not to get the certificate of completion of your graduate degree. You are going there to learn. How are you going to be as an employee, as a person, as a boss, as a leader, as a father, I would say, as a husband, so, or as like a life partners. Don't judge me if I'm not talking about wife or mothers, things like that. For both. So for instance, if you are a person who always were you were able to manage doing tricks and completed your studies, yeah, and you got the degree, you went for a job interview, you would be observed very, very quickly, right? The moment you will open up your mouth or you will start speaking about yourself or things like that, recruiters can easily find out who is an honest person who would be adding into their company or organization, or who would not. Or if in case you are recruited, um, at each and every level of your professional life, you are displaying and you cannot display the same dishonesty that you had continued or you were very much proud of. Yeah, you know the ways, you know how to make it up. No, you are going to suffer. You will not be able to be a productive employee, to contribute into the into the progress of the work. You might be noticed, what if, nauzubillah, whatever, if you are noticed by your employer that you try to play the some tactics. It's not gonna end up in a in a happy way. It's going to be something bad. So you are learning life skills at your institution, especially when you are doing it after school, high school. So when you go to a college, when you go to a university, and your teachers are telling you that these are soft skills, you have to work in a team, you have to take the sense of responsibility. Time management is something like students are always considering it's not very important skill. It's okay, teacher, no problem, teacher, no issue. It's not the problem for that class, it's the problem for life. You are not learning why you have to value time. You are going to be in a job market, you are going to be in any company, you can get delay for your work, you can get delay for your meeting, you would be receiving bad reputation, you would not be, because that is not built in you, that is not part of your habit, that is not part of your personality. So it's going to end up in a bad way. And if you think that these soft skills are going to be taught as a program or as a course or as a training at every organization, it's not possible. This is not possible. You don't learn these things. There is no such particular course or a book which says this is the course for graduate attributes, or this is the course for these soft skills. There's no such thing. You learn them with the course of time. Like, you are in a class, you learn it from your teacher, you learn it from your colleagues, you learn it from anywhere that you are appearing in in a class. So the students should always think that these skills are also this is going to be part of you forever. Teachers are not going to be affected. You are going to be affected. Your impression is going to be affected. If for I have received a very honest, I would say, excuse from a student. She couldn't, and she was suffering through something, and it was like an emergency. See, if students are thinking that teachers are cruel, people, there is no such thing. We really want to help students. We feel so proud when we see our students being successful in life. You have no idea, because you are the product of the institution. You were in different, in smaller levels when you are gradually growing or progressing from one level to another. You, nobody is as happy as we as teachers are. So this idea that teachers are going to reduce the marks, or teachers are going to be harsh to you, please take it out. First check whether you did an honest job, whether you tried to complete your time, your schedule, your duties, your everything on time. If you did that, fair enough. No one is going to be against you. No one is going to reduce your grades if you did a fair thing. But in case you couldn't do something, try to tell to your teacher well in advance, not on that day of it, of the deadline itself. Say to the teacher in advance, right? And even, a student, she was very much nervous, she was very much afraid, she was a very good student, but anxiety level is something that nobody can deny. We understand that students, especially when it comes to face the audience or to present somewhere, students get confused, students get nervous, and it's very much normal, right? I had a very good chat with that student. I made her smile, feel confident about herself. And I didn't take her presentation on that day because her level of anxiety was higher. But at least she approached, she explained, and she said that she's going through that anxiety. Okay, what happened? I will always remember her for her sense of sincerity or honesty. You get what I'm saying? Anyways, that was related to the importance of soft skills. And if you have developed the habit of being honest, timely completion of your task, you consider time is very important, you are going to be happy forever in your life, because these skills are going to be further generated in your children. So it's like lifelong learning process. It's not one time. If for I learned it from my father, from my parents, that what is the value of time, what is sense of honesty, of sincerity. I have seen my parents at work, my father at work. Oh my God! So I would definitely apply the same, and I would generate it. I have seen my teachers doing that thing. Okay, so these are called lifelong learning, lifelong skills. Hope this has helped. And if you have any question, if you have any comment, I would love to reply back to that. Thank you so much to those who are liking the video, who are in the video, who have joined the session. Thank you so much for that. Teachers, trust me, students, dear students, wherever, whichever part of the world you are, teachers are always trying to see their students growing, being successful, or doing the best, or on good places, getting good jobs. We feel so proud. We feel so proud of you. All right. So try to be honest and approach your teacher well in advance if you cannot do something, or whatever is the situation. We are human and things happen. Okay. Stay happy, stay healthy. And I wish this time when I'm going to end up my session, I know what I'm doing, or am I doing it right or not. So thank you so much for joining up, and inshallah see you in the next session. Assalam.